My name's Gareth Atkins from Onside Law, and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that the competition data has already been sent to the auditing company Azets. I would now like today's judges to introduce themselves and using the secure link provided, mark on the screen where they think the centre of the ball should be. The group will then come to a final panel decision.
Good morning, my name is Matt Cannon. I'm a senior county referee and footballer.
I'm Nigel Hicks. I've been the Supply League match visual for the best part of 30 years, and I'm an experienced football administrator.
My name is Chloe Morgan, and I'm goalkeeper for Crystal Palace Women.
Good morning, my name is Alain Goma. I'm an ex-professional football player. I've played for Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle and Fulham.
Hi, my name's Renee Hector and I play football for Watford FC Women and I'm a coach for Tottenham Hotspur Foundation.
Hi, my name is Kieran Fitzgibbon. I've played football for more than 30 years and am now a senior county referee.
Hi, my name's Matthew Ray. I've affiliated in multiple counties across England and have refereed from grassroots through to professional academies.
Good morning, my name is Leo Donnellan. I'm an ex-professional football player, having been with Chelsea, Fulham and Leyton Orient.
Good morning, my name's Hugh Gilroy. I'm a referee, a mentor, tutor and observer.
Hi, my name is Ari Mendonca. I've been involved in football for over 30 years, first as a player and then as a referee.
Judges, please now come to a final panel decision. For your reference, the larger white cross is the calculated average of the 10 individual selections.
Thank you very much, Gareth. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Matt.
So we have two players in shot. The player in the background in red and black is in motion. He's running towards the play, I believe, and he's looking up to the ball. And we have a player in the air with his knee up and his arms out, which to me is just about to pull back and head the ball. And I would add that the ball is in the foreground. He's looking up towards the centre of the ball. We've obviously got Chloe that's quite a way magnified out here. So before I draw lines, Chloe, can I come to you and ask you what your thoughts and how you saw this photo, please?
Yeah, I saw it quite similarly to yourself, that the player in white was going to go through the ball and that the ball was falling quite steeply in the foreground. I think from my perspective, it didn't look like the ball was, there was an immediate impact from the header, so that it was a lot further away from him than the other crosses. I think I also took from the red and black player that the ball was sort of quite central to his head, but slightly just over to the left and a lot steeper. And there was a lot of whites underneath the player's eyes that indicated to me that it was quite steeply dropping down.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I mean, I've come to you first because you're so distant from the rest of the choices. I wanted your explanation prior to drawing some lines, which will exclude yours, just so you know. I'll draw up first from these two eyes here. And as you said, that we can see whites underneath them and whites either side of the pupils. So if I draw up through Alain's at the bottom there, and then across to me, I'm just outside on the right-hand side here. And then I'll draw some other lines up from this player in white. Again, we've got two good eyes. That's to Alain at the lowest there, and just through Matthews, and he's in line with the four of us. So I'll remove Chloe's to move the average into the center of this. And as you see, if I put the magnifier over the top of this calculated average, we've got Alain's, mine, and Kieran's popping out the side. So Alain, I'll come to you next. Yours is magnified there, and I'll put the highlighter over it. There we are. How did you see this?
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Yeah, no, as you mentioned, I think the ball is in the foreground. The player on the right, I think he's got his knee up. I think he's still on his way up. He's attacking the ball, and I think he's going to go for probably a power header. I thought he was looking up, not as steep as most of you, but just a bit below, I would say. And I cross-referenced with the player in red and black who's looking across on the left quite steeply. And this is where I thought the center of the ball was.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And Kieran, I'll come to you next. There's yours magnified. You're just above Alain's in the same sort of trajectory up from the red and black players' vision. How did you see what was happening?
Yes, thanks, Matt. Yeah, I'm very similar to Alan. I think the player in white is up, his knees up ready. He's preparing himself to power through the header. If you could put the circle above where the cross is, if you wouldn't mind, the white cross as it is at the moment. To my mind, if the ball was there, he may not be powering through the header. I think the ball is slightly low, which is why I placed mine a little bit lower. Remember, I think he's looking underneath the ball at the ball. So the centre of the ball, I think, would be a little bit lower for him to be able to power through and head the ball. And that's why I placed mine a bit lower. Okay,
fine. Okay. Thank you for that. I'll come to you now, Leo. You're just above me on the line of the trajectory from the white players' eyes. And there you are, magnified. How did you see this?
Hi, Matt. Yeah, no, I think the player in white, for me, both his eyes, he was just looking steeper. Yeah. So just with his eye line, he obviously is looking higher up. I think if you look at his body shape, his two arms are up. He's unopposed. He's got a free header at the ball. Yeah, but for me, he was just looking more steeply with his eyes.
Yeah, I obviously agree with you. I'm just below you, and I think that obviously there will need to be some discussion about the way the ball's coming in, because I think if I'm right, that Alain and Kieran think the ball's coming in a bit flatter, so the player's meeting it. But it could also be coming down where I think, and he's not quite at the top of his jump, so he's coming up to meet the ball in my view. But Matthew, you're just here highlighted above Leo's. What were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, as you say, Matt, I do think he's still on his way up. His hands are still out. If he was coming forward for that header, his hands would be back. So I think he's still going to reach a little bit higher in his jump. And like Leo said, I think he's looking that bit steeper. I think the ball's dropping in from that steep angle. So that's why I've placed it there.
Yeah, thank you very much. And Hugh, you're just here, just above Matthews and ever so slightly to the left. And I'll put the highlighter over yours. What do you think was happening?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't think he's quite at the top of his jump yet. And I think for me, his eyes were looking up quite steeply. But yeah, I felt he was going to meet it. I wasn't sure whether that was power through or, given that his legs are slightly different heights, whether he was starting to twist slightly. But yeah, for me, he's definitely looking up above him, and the player in red and black was looking over to the right. So that was my take.
Yeah, I mean, twisting, he's got this little furrow in his neck as well on one side, which would suggest that he possibly is readjusting. So thank you. Ari, you're just here. You're just to the left of Hugh and just above the calculated average, and I'll highlight yours. How have you seen what was happening with the photo?
Yeah, similar as where is the similar as Matthew and Hugh. To be honest, I felt that the player is unopposed. He looks fairly comfortable with the movement that he's performing, and I see as well that he is with his fists clenched as well. So he tells me that the ball is closer. Is closer to him, so he's almost about to head the ball. The player in red and black, he gave me the position as well for the center.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much, Nigel. I'll come to you. You're in the middle of this sort of main cluster, I would say. There's yours magnified. What are your thoughts?
I mean, my colleagues have really said it all, or most of them have for me, that, I think he's still, given his distance from the ball, he's still got a little way to rise. He is looking up. We can see the whites of his eyes underneath. So we can see some white there. So we can be fairly optimistic. He is looking up at an angle from his head. And I think the red gives us a good cross reference. He's also looking towards us and across and up. So, again, we got that good angle there. Yeah. So that's how I ended up in that place.
Thank you. And then yours, Renee, here, you're magnified here. You're ever so slightly to the left of this, of Nigel's choice there. I'll put the highlighter over yours. Have you seen this and what was happening?
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't got masses to add. I just feel like, just by the player's body position, that the ball is probably travelling relatively quickly. And obviously he's still then got to just extend his neck and pull his arms back. So he's got a little bit of a way to rise. But I had my cross where the ball was coming ever so slightly flatter, but obviously a very similar line to everybody else with the player in red's eyes.
Yeah, I mean, you put it very eloquently again that he's got a bit to rise, so his trajectory is up towards where we put our choices. So thanks for pointing that out. So looking at this, if I put the magnifier over, as I said, we have a couple of us outside, and I think Alain's is far enough away to be removed, and I will then undo these two lines and then redraw them up from this player. So we've got quite a tight line up through here. And then we've got a slightly wider line here through Kieran's. So if I put the magnifier here, you see that I'm ever so slightly out to the right and Kieran's out to the left. If I remove Kieran's, the average there comes and encapsulates all the rest of the 7. So what I would suggest we vote on, I will go for a vote to remove Kieran's, simply because I think from what I've listened to, including my own thoughts on this, that the majority of us, and I would include Chloe in this, where she is up above on this section here, sees the trajectory of the ball as being slightly higher than Kieran's and Alain's. I've removed Chloe, obviously, because she's far enough away from the group to alter the average by quite substantially. So that's what I'd like to do. So I will start off by obviously saying that I believe that Kieran should be removed. I'll come to you next, Nigel. I also should point out, I think with this, with Kieran's removed, we do get a split, a good split between 3 on the left, as obviously 4 on the right, as we're looking at the plane. But I think if you looked at it with the ball in front, it's a nice tight cluster. So Nigel, hope everything was understood. If I could come to you.
Yeah, I would keep Kieran in, because it actually moves the cross away from where I think it is, from where my cross is.
Yeah.
It's where the cross is now is really where I saw the centre of the ball. But I do understand the points you've made, and yeah, I can see the rationale for the vote. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you very much. And Chloe, I'll come to you.
I would remove Kieran. I think on the basis of what you were saying previously about it, the ball seemed to be dropping down from a slightly steeper angle. That was my thoughts.
Yeah, thank you very much. Alain?
Yeah, I would keep Kieran. I think, when you look at the right eye of the player, I think, it could be
which player? Sorry, the
player in white.
That eye there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Renee?
Yeah, I would actually remove Kieran, even though it takes the average cross away from mine. I just can't see that the player is looking that low. So I can't justify keeping Kieran's in.
Okay, thank you. Matthew?
Yeah, same point. I think the player in white's just looking too steeply, so I'd remove Kieran too.
Great, thank you. Leo?
Yeah, I would remove Kieran. I think the player in white is looking more steeply.
Thank you. Hugh?
Yeah, I'd remove, I think, partly I don't think he's looking that low, but also I think it's a better average, as it covers a cluster of us,
yeah.
which is a decent number.
Thank you. And lastly, Ari.
Similar, I'll remove as well.
Okay. Okay, Gareth. With a good panel discussion vote, we've decided to judge at the calculated average with Kieran's removed from a panel vote. And I'd previously removed Alain and Chloe's as lead judge. So that's the calculated average that we will vote with.
Thank you. If you're all happy, then please click submit. Thank you, judges. The coordinates selected are 2, 5, 6, 7, 7, 3, 5. These coordinates will now be passed to the auditing company AZET to calculate the winner of the competition, and they will then inform. That concludes the judging process. Thank you.